Welcome back to the Wind Temple, ladies and gents. In the last episode, Macker was unfortunately captured by, Floor Master is what it's called. I almost forgot its name, and he is still stuck in prison as of right now. But we did get a small key at the very end of the last episode to use to open this door, so let's go ahead and do that. Now quickly, I just want to point out the fact that where I am at right now, during the moment of recording, there's thunder outside. You can hear the thunder. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder, but I can hear it pretty well. And because of that, I had to close my window just to make sure that the thunder isn't caught by the microphone. So not only is my fan off in my room, but my window is closed. So I really hope that in this episode, it doesn't get too hot. Oh, but right away, this is actually legit terrifying. This is legit scary. Just thinking about how I'm going to need to take out all three of these villains here. And for some reason, one of the wizards can turn into a Keith, and this person is shooting fireballs at me. This is, honestly, this is a good way to start the episode. This is an exciting way to start the episode. There's no better way to start an episode than by getting right to the action, you know? Not boring you guys with things that are trivial and all of that, like my window being closed and like thunder sounding outside my room right now, which is really how I honestly did start out the episode. But thankfully, as I said, action is good. I'm gonna stop ranting about action now, and I'm going to kill this one here magician that has this weird headpiece on. I don't know if he's any stronger than the wizards that we've encountered so far, than the magical toucans that we've encountered, but he looks different, that's all I can say about him. He can take more hits, I'll admit that. I did hit him with a Master Sword, he didn't die. I hit him with an arrow and he still didn't die. And this Darknut here still wants to cut my head off, I'm pretty sure. That's not who I wanted to lock onto, oh my goodness. That was a little annoying because it takes a while for this toucan to appear, and then right when he appears, I lock onto the wrong person, and then he disappears again. Then I gotta wait a whole 10 seconds or 5 seconds for him to reappear. You know what, I guess it won't be so bad to try to take out this Darknut here first, as long as I'm aware of when the toucan is about to fire at me, shoot fireballs at me, if you will. Okay, so this Darknut is pretty much the same level as the other Darknuts that we've fought, right? I mean, if you think about it, even though he's wearing different armor, even though he's wearing golden armor, if you will, he's not really that much harder. He is gone now, so there's we don't need to worry about that guy anymore. Oh, excuse me. I'm all over the place today when it comes to enunciating and pronouncing my words. Are you kidding me? A moblin? Now, is this one of those mobs that is like summoned by a magician and then will disappear after a certain amount of time? I guess not. I guess you really do have to kill him. Let's get rid of this guy. We spent enough time with these magicians and Darknuts and moblins in this here room. I just want to be done with this room already and get the item that I know that we are going to be getting, which is most likely the Hookshot. There you go, and you know that when you've got a treasure chest that has spikes on top of it, it's important. Just like how, you know, the big key, or the chest containing the big key is important because it's a lot bigger than the other chests, and it's blue, it's got a fancier design, you know that it's important. But here we have the Hookshot. It extends, it retracts, it latches onto things. What a cool invention. And that's really all that the game has to say. What a cool invention. I guess it did explain how to use it. It extends, it retracts, and all of that. So you use the Hookshot in order to reach high ledges. You can latch onto certain items, like as I said in the last episode, you find targets on top of, not on top of, but you find targets on walls, right? Just like how there's a target right there. Well, targets like that, you can use your Hookshot and then latch onto it to reach a ledge or some area of the room that you couldn't normally reach. So let's take out our Skull Hammer, which we haven't used in quite a while if you think about it. We'll use the Skull Hammer and then use it the same way we did in the Forsaken Fortress, by using it to to hit switches to open doors and all of that. Now I believe that we can rescue Little Macker, but we need to make our way back up to him because we are I guess in the basement level, if you will. But we need to come back here because I'm seeing little patches of dirt where you need to use Macker to plant seeds and all of that. But I want to clear the room of the P-hats first. These guys are making me nervous. I don't want to use my new invention while these guys are still alive and they can still swoop down and try to kill me and all of that. Okay, so it still looks like the best way to take out a P-hat would be to use your bow and arrow, as you can take them out in one fell sweep. So let's do that right now. Let me demonstrate the awesomeness of the bow and arrow, just like that. Quite awesome, don't you guys think? But I will make my way back up this room by using the targets, just like I did in the last episode, but really it's quite repetitive, so I'll go ahead and meet you guys at the top. Okay, so I know that this isn't the top of the room, but I did notice that there's this treasure chest over here that we can grab, so I just wanted to show you guys that. I have a feeling that it's probably a compass. I honestly don't remember if we picked up a compass yet for this dungeon. But it is a compass. Alright, so that's good. That's good. I want to see what's inside of these jars. There are arrows in here, and you guys didn't see it, but I did miss a P-hat, so while I was trying to make my way up this room, a P-hat started charging at me, and that was a little scary, to be honest. But let's continue making our way to the top. I will see you guys. Perhaps this time it'll be at the top. What do you say? I'll see you guys there. And here we are at the top, right where little Macker is, and I can see the shadow of a P-hat. I will want to move. The stone that blocks the entrance seems extremely heavy. The only way you could move it, Shadow J, is if you were to become as heavy as the great Deku Tree himself. If only the great Okay, you already said that. You said that in the last episode, and I noticed that I didn't even give him his voice, his dubbed voice. I think that's redundant, but you know what I mean, right? That's not what Macker sounds like. Macker sounds, according to my interpretation anyway, very interesting, if you guys will remember. Alright, so now that we've got the Hookshot, put on your iron boots to become as heavy as the Deku Tree, and then just shoot his forehead. Ouch! Alright, that was not the smartest thing to do. I pulled it down, and then the whole thing fell on me, and I think I lost a whole heart of health for that. And inside is a joy pendant. Not anything too spectacular, but we have another joy pendant nonetheless. Now I am honestly curious as to see how much joy pendants we have, because we've been collecting quite a bit. And after all this time, we only have 17. I could have sworn that we had more than that, but that's still a good amount. I'm going to need to visit Miss Marie and then give her those joy pendants sometime. Alright, well, let's see. I think that the best thing to do right now would be to go back down and plant those seeds. You guys saw those patches of dirt, right? So I'm going to just toss Macker down there, because he will survive, you see? He'll just drop like that. He'll realize he can't make it to the other side and just give up, basically. And we'll use our Deku Leaf to safely land back here. Now would be the best time to control Macker so that we can plant those seeds that I was talking about. Alright, and here we are. Just dropping it looks like an acorn that he drops inside. And then it grows a full tree that, as I said, for some reason has a face. I think that's still adorable though. I also said that, that it's adorable. Why are you not... Come on, plant. There you go. Macker's not being blown by the winds. That's a little surprising because I was being blown by the winds, and I am a full-size human being child, or a teenager if you will. But this little Korok here, who is, I'm sure, a lot lighter than I am, he wasn't blown away. And look at me, I'm just really struggling here. But of course, if you put on your iron boots, that's not a problem. But I think that what we want to do is use our Deku Leaf to ascend this here room, because I think we need to get back to the top. Let me double check by looking at my map. It looks like that there is actually an area that we haven't visited yet, and I think that it's up there. Is it? Let's see. Yeah, there's quite a few rooms that we haven't visited yet. Specifically this one. Apparently it's on the basement floor, but I'm not seeing any door here. Is it? Maybe it's above us? I see. I think. Let's just see. I think I'll just leave Macker here for now. He's not really needed so much. Let's use our Hookshot to get back up here. Whoa! I did not expect that. I legit did not see that coming. There was a claw that extended from the wall. Did you guys see that? That is something that you will just want to look out for, I guess. Let's look for that door that we need to access, that we haven't accessed yet. I'm not seeing anything though. Whoa, 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 whoa. We are so high right now. Oh man, it's a good thing Link isn't afraid of heights. In real life, I am legit afraid of heights. True story. There are times even when I'm at the mall, right? And maybe I'm on the second or third floor, usually only on the second floor. But by looking down, I automatically feel that strange feeling in my gut, you know, that when people are afraid of heights, you get that feeling, right? Yeah, I'm really no good with heights, but that's something that I want to overcome. Maybe someday I'll have to go skydiving or the like. I wonder how much skydiving costs now that I think about it, because I've seen people do it like on TV and all of that, but oh man, I've never tried it myself, and my bad, I wasn't paying attention to my magic meter. I was too busy talking about skydiving, which honestly is not so important right now. Let's just use Grandma's soup. Not use it, let's drink Grandma's soup. It's kind of weird when you say use soup. But yeah, let's do that and replenish our health and our magic. I can only hope that I will find a fairy in this dungeon somewhere soon, because I know that the dungeon boss is pretty near, I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure that we're already past the halfway mark of this dungeon. Don't quote me on that. As I said, this is pretty much a blind run of this wind temple. I probably shouldn't say blind run, because I have done this before. I have beaten Wind Waker before. It's been so long, man, since I last did this. Since I last did this temple. Really, of course, the part of the game that I did most of Wind Waker is, of course, Outset Island, because you start there, and whenever I restarted the game, I'd always start there. But when it comes to dungeons, the dungeon that I've done the most is obviously the Forsaken Fortress, which I'm sure that many of you guys have done the Forsaken Fortress many times. There are probably some people out there that after beating the game, they like take a break from it for a year or so, and then afterwards they're like, oh man, I want to play Wind Waker again, you know? And then when they pick it up, they do all the Outset Island stuff, they save Tetra, their sister gets kidnapped, and then they end up in the Forsaken Fortress, right? But then eventually they're probably like, you know what, I've played this game before, maybe I'm going to finish it some other time, and all that. So that's what I'm getting at. This is ridiculous. This room is filled with hopping statues. It's really weird. So I'm going to take out my bombs and just attack them as such. If they would just, okay, maybe I need to lead them to the bomb. Maybe I'll just draw them in like that, and then. Did any of them get hit at all? None of them? Really? Okay, how about spin attack? Maybe spin attack will work. But this is very dangerous. I don't recommend doing this at home, kids. It's funny, I saw something on Twitter that was saying how, you know, a lot of commercials, a lot of television shows nowadays say, don't try this at home. And then the response on Twitter was saying, you know, back then when I was a child, I wasn't stupid enough to think of doing such things at home. You know, I was just smart enough to not do it. You didn't have to tell me to not do it. And in a way that is true, but I guess a lot of people, a lot of companies are just trying to avoid getting in trouble legally, like, you know. A lot of people can say, oh no, my son watched this television show and he was influenced by the television show to do such and such, and now look, he broke his arm or broke his wrist or something like that. You know, I really don't know if people could sue for that, because I'm pretty sure that companies of like television shows, like producers of television shows, have some way to avoid such legal actions and all of that. I shouldn't really talk much about, you know, legal actions and suing and all of that, when really I don't know much about law myself. Of course, I get the gist of it, but when it comes to specific laws and when people sue each other and all of that, I don't know the details so much. I'm no lawyer, and that's not the major that I'm entering in college either. My college major is computer science, so God willing anyway, that's the degree that I'm going to graduate with, computer science. Alright, so I did get a small key, but I'm not entirely sure where the locked door is. Thankfully, we do have a dungeon map. I think that this is the first dungeon that I have actually used the dungeon map in, so for the record, dungeon maps and compasses are very helpful, so you will want to use them as much as you can. Although, legit, I'm not entirely sure where I'm supposed to go. It looks like on the first floor, there is a treasure chest that I have not accessed yet. I can't say whether or not it's an important treasure chest. As well as in the basement, there's a door that I haven't accessed yet, so I'm going to need to go there. So I will see you guys at the next door, or whatever. Okay, so do you guys remember in the last episode, I entered this room where there was that giant boulder that had the musical notes, right? Where I'm supposed to conduct and Little Mac is supposed to play, right? Well, I remembered it. I went to that door and I was like, oh, wait a second, I remember this. So we just need to go there if I can find where it is. Now I'm legit not sure where. Whoa, no! Okay, it's that room below us, surprisingly. Thankfully, it's just right there. So, let us just leave Little Macker here. Oh, he's gonna get smushed. Oh, man. Those giant statues are so mean. Why would they pick on a little Korok like that? Okay, let's just meet Macker up there. There he is, and there are those statues. They're just waiting for me there. They're edge guarding. You know, like how you have that one friend in Super Smash who loves to edge guard to make sure that you won't make it to the other side of the platform after being launched and all of that? Well, yeah, those guys are edge guarders. Oh, that was close. I thought I was going to die, but I didn't, so we're okay. I know that there's a floor master down there, so we're going to have to be very careful and make sure that Little Macker is not stolen, is not taken away. We need to move quickly, really. I thought that there were 2 floor masters here. I could have sworn that I saw 2 floor masters. Sorry, I'm kind of freaking out here, I know, but this is some serious stuff here. We don't want Macker to get kidnapped again, especially because we don't want to waste any more time. We're trekking through this dungeon. We're going through this dungeon at a good pace, if you ask me. It's not too fast, but at the same time, it's not taking us too long, so... Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Gotta make it back to the other side because Macker is currently unprotected. Imagine if a floor master respawned. How frustrating that would be. All right, let's get Little Macker back up there. I think we just need to give him back control so that he can use his little leaf helicopter to get himself back up there. Just like this. It's a good thing that both Medley and this little Korok Macker can fly, right? Could you imagine how frustrating and how annoying it would be if both of those characters didn't have those features, didn't have those abilities? That would be such a pain. Of course, I'm sure Nintendo would redesign the dungeon so as to make sure that you can get through the dungeon easily without having to make them fly, but still, it really helps. It comes in handy when they have that ability. All right, enough of talking about that. Let's conduct. Oh my goodness, whoa. That was close. He was just about to hit me, but he just decided, nah, I'm not gonna hit this guy. I'm just going to let him play his, conduct for Little Macker so that he can play that song and destroy this giant boulder. I just really hope that this is something that we really have to do, and it's something that's not optional, because if it's just a treasure chest, not a treasure chest, if it's just a treasure chart, honestly, that would be a little disappointing. I felt like we spent 3 minutes trying to complete this particular area of the room, you know, getting Macker up that chamber, you know, with the wind, and then getting ourselves up, and then killing the floor master. Oh, this looks like an important room because there are 3 dark nuts here. Is that one in the middle even a dark nut now that I think about it? Because, again, it's got different armor, but just because it has different armor doesn't necessarily mean that it's a different enemy per se. But I can't help but be curious as to what this guy is and what he does. All right, we need to drink some of Grandma's soup. Drink before that dark nut charges at us. That's terrifying. You guys know how scary it is whenever dogs charge at you, right? Like when you're taking a walk in the park and then there's that one family that doesn't have their dog on the leash, but it's a really energetic dog, right? And then they just start charging at you. And it's scary, right? But imagine how scary it is to have one of these types of dogs charging at you. And that dark nut just just whacked his friend really hard. And he did it again. He needs to be more careful. Could you imagine how much pain his friend is going through right now? This one looks a lot more dangerous because he's different color. Look at that. He kind of reminds me of a Rottweiler for some reason. But, you know, it's a dog. It's still a dog with red eyes. Red, glowing eyes. Such an evil dog. Speaking of dogs, I have 2 dogs in my household, okay? And that is a big key chest. But anyway, I have 2 dogs in my household, right? One is a black Labrador retriever named Rocky, and he is such an awesome dog. He is currently 7 years old right now. And our second dog is a mix of a Rottweiler and a German Shepherd, and her name is Sheena. And for some reason or another, Sheena just does not like me or my brother. I mean, we've been good. I mean, we disciplined her and all of that, but she just doesn't like us. But because whenever I pet her, for example, she would snarl at me and show her teeth, like basically saying, "Get away from me. What's your problem?" Really? What's your problem, Sheena? What did I do to you? Oh well. Honestly, now that I know that she doesn't like me though, I tend to mess with her by petting her even though she doesn't like it. Again, I don't know what her problem is. Like, I legit don't know what her problem is. But anyway, it looks like this is where we're going to conclude the episode for today. So in the next episode of Wind Waker HD, I believe that we are going to be concluding our trek through this here Wind Temple. So I will see you guys for that episode. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that you guys took the time to watch this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to leave a like and share with your friends. And if you'd like to see more from me, please don't feel shy. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can go ahead and check out previous episodes of this series, and you can also take a look at the next episode of this series when it comes out by clicking the said annotations. Also, I do have a series going on, and you guys know that as being Super Mario 3D World, and it has been a lot of fun. It is coming to an end now, but you can still click on the annotation below to check out one of the episodes from that series. So I will see you guys in the next episode.